When you get through failing, all you gotta do is make one. Matter of fact, when you fail, be glad about it. Every time you fail, you one step closer. So every time you fail, say, whew, got that out the way. Go to the next one. Fail again, okay, I got 2 out the way. What's gonna happen is if you just keep swinging, you're gonna get a hit.
Do not fear failure, but please be terrified of regret, as giving up is the birth of regret. You will receive 100 doors slam in your face. You will have 100 moments that will be filled with someone telling you no. But what I ask of you today is to not take no for an answer. Don't be afraid of no's. Be afraid of the possibility of a yes that you have prematurely destroyed because you decided to quit before the clock strikes 12. I love a good no. Please tell me no. Telling me no is like adding fuel to a fire that is now set ablaze because of your single no. I love additional reasons to work harder. Please give me a reason.
You better go inside. You still looking outside for the stuff that's already inside. You still looking for someone to save you when you already your superhero. You looking for some information from somebody when you already got what you need in your head. It's just time for you to get up and be the best version of you.
You have to never let off the gas, never stop, never quit. Never allow anyone to talk you out of the dream, the vision, and ideas. And understand that for every level, there's another devil. It is the devil's job to create challenges, issues, and conflicts, insecurities, fear, because he wants to put you to a test. But I can tell you now, I piss the devil off every day because I just don't stop. And the devil is so mad. This guy, doesn't matter if he gets sick, it doesn't matter what happens to his money or his finances, every time he gets out of his bed and he's on a mission to get it done.
And as you begin to look at your life, decide that you're going to start working on that dream. You're going to work and nurture that idea. Now, there will be people that will criticize you. There will be people that won't see it for you. But I say to you, don't let nobody turn you around. You don't need anybody to understand it. You don't need anybody to approve you. You don't need anybody to say, go ahead on and do it. If you get that, that's fantastic. If you get that encouragement, that's great. But I say stand up within yourself boldly and say, this is my life. I'm controlling my destiny.
It's all you. You tell yourself all these lies, reasons, justifications to why you're not winning in life. I'm too tired. I need to rest. I don't have the right gear. I don't have enough money. I don't have time. Something else is more important. The day you'll start to actually make changes in your life to move forward is the day you acknowledge that all those excuses are bullshit. They're all fabricated lies to make you feel better about taking the easy road.
And when you take the easy road, it'll be more comfortable. It'll make you feel warm and safe and not too stressed, but only in the short term. Long term, it'll create a nightmare. Things will begin to fall apart. But if you decide that you are willing to deal with those tedious, annoying, and hard tasks today that you know needs to be done, you start paving a road to a life that will be smooth in the long term. Doing what's easy makes life hard, but doing what's hard makes life easy. Stop taking the easy approach to everything. Your life, your tasks, your goals, your dreams will be so much sweeter when you do it the harder way. The way you know you're capable of doing, to the very best of your ability.
In order to do that, you've got to start fighting back against all those weak thoughts that creep up in your brain when you're feeling tired or lazy or just sick of the grind. You gotta shut that down. You gotta tell it to go away. And replace those thoughts with the thought of what you're gonna achieve from getting this task done, getting this project completed.
You gotta take ownership back over your brain. Stop letting the weak in your head own you. They don't own you, you own you. You get that weakness to shut, and you do that through execution. Execute on your mission every day, whether you feel like it or not.
The decisions you make every single day determine the way you are physically and mentally. When your alarm goes off in the morning, do you roll over and sleep more, or get up and start working? When you see that your room needs cleaning, do you tell yourself you will do it tomorrow, or do you get started on cleaning up? Because no one grows from sitting on the damn couch, from slacking off, from taking that path of least resistance, that downhill path.
Whenever you run into something that you gotta do that's hard, shut down your feelings about it, shut down any evaluation of it, deciding if you'll do it or not, and just go get it done.
Your mind can be your best friend or your worst enemy. It can lift you up to the peaks of Everest or drag you down to the darkest pits of hell. The trick is to grab the reins and steer this wild beast where you want it to go, not just wherever it feels like wandering. No, you are the director. You are the writer. You determine the outcomes for you.
You're not destined to be whatever you are right now. You've got the power to mold, shape, and redefine who you are. But it takes discipline. It's about waging war on those sneaky doubts and lazy habits lurking in your mind. Every day you fight to improve. You fight to push past the resistance. You fight to tackle the hard shit head on. And every time you conquer these challenges, you're not just completing tasks. You're building an ironclad belief in yourself, your vision, your purpose on this planet.
That inner voice that keeps telling you that you're not good enough, that you can't do it, that it's too hard, that voice is a liar. You gotta call it out. Every time it whispers some defeatist crap, you shut it down with a not today.
Your comfort zone is a death trap. It's where dreams go to rot and die. Every time you face something hard and your instinct is to back off, that's the moment you need to double down. You gotta teach your mind to crave that resistance, to get off on the challenge.
Start by setting goals that scare the lit out of you. I'm talking about goals that make you question your own sanity. Why? Because when you reach for the highest, it forces your brain to stretch, to grow, to adapt.
You've got to establish a routine that's non-negotiable, creating habits of daily execution and disciplined action. It's about a commitment, committing 100% to your goals and dreams. Whether it's waking up at the crack of dawn, hitting the gym when your body screams no, or grinding through a project that feels like mental torture, you do it. No excuses, no mental debates, no mercy.
You need to wake up each day with the hunger of someone who's never tasted success. Regardless of yesterday's victories, forget about how far you've come right now and focus on what you can be. If you really tried your hardest, what can you become if you worked as hard as you could? What can you become if you impose real discipline in your life right now? You gotta wake up every single day with that mentality and then do everything you possibly can to go find out.
You got to be ruthless with yourself. When you feel like procrastinating, that's your cue to double your efforts. The moment you start feeling cozy and content with good enough, that's when you need to shock your system. Push harder, aim higher. This is not about being a merciless tyrant to yourself. It's about recognizing that true growth, real transformation, happens only when you're out on the edge, facing your fears, pushing for the impossible. It's in this space, this uncomfortable, unnerving zone, that greatness is born and legends are made.
One of the biggest contradictions of massive success is when people go to their moms, their dads, their brother, sister, boyfriend, girlfriend, they say, listen, one day the world's gonna know who I am. One day I will have a Ferrari, the Lambo, the Rolls, the Bentley, the big house, the cars, the backyard with the big swimming pool and an elevator. I'm gonna put the biggest parties. I'm gonna be a millionaire one day. Yet, instead of staying at the office on Friday night, you call your friends and you go party. Instead of waking up Saturday morning to go to the gym, you sleep until 10 o'clock. Instead of reading the book on Sundays, you kick back and watch movies all day long. The reality is very simple. Those who win big, they do four things right. They sleep, sweat, grind, repeat. And they do it over and over and over again until their dreams become a reality.
At the end of your feelings is possibly nothing. But at the end of your principle is a promise. And some of you are where you are. If you could be real with yourself, you have gotten yourself in some mess because of your feelings. We are losing control. And it's time for those of you in this room to take control. You've held up your someday. Either you didn't get the right information or you got it, you didn't use it, you're not getting up early enough. I don't know what you're doing. But when you leave, all I want for you is to live your someday. No more playing after today. And here's the crazy part. All you got to do is look in the mirror. All you got to do is deal with yourself, and then we're going to get to a whole other level.
Because the only one that is stopping you is you.
I need you to take control over every single area, and then someday gonna be your day.
Excuses are for weak people. If you're gonna make it happen, get your ass up and get to work.
No more excuses. No more, I'll start tomorrow. No more, just this once. No more accepting the shortfalls of my own will. No more taking the easy road. No more waiting for the perfect moment, and no more indecision, and no more lies. No more weakness. Now is the time for strength. And through strength, and through will, and through unwavering discipline, I will become who I want to be.
Suffocate your bullshit excuses and go do something.
Stop running from it and run to it. Stop telling me what you're going through. The greats, they get to it, they go through it. And the harder it is, the better. Make it work. Let's go.
Now, if you know what you're worth, then go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
I'm trying to tell you, you can win. You can win. Despite the circumstance, you can win. Despite the adversity, you can win. Despite the situation, you can win. Despite how much money you got in your bank, you can win. Despite the fact if your parents in your life or not, you can win. Despite the fact that you started behind, you can win. You can pull it off. No excuses. No more complaining. No more giving up. What's that thing that's gonna pump you up and get you over that hill? What's gonna pump you up and get you over that mountain? What's gonna pump you up and get you past that disease? What's gonna pump you up and get you past bankruptcy? What's gonna pump you up and get you to the other doggone side? Come on, you can win.
If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, your life will be easy.
You must work harder. You must get up earlier than them. You must stay up later than them. You must be willing to do more than anyone else would dare to do, simply because you want it more than anyone else does.
You got to see that long-term goal as not just a thing you're striving for, but a thing that you must have. You cut off any other outcome other than success. Pushing yourself to the limits isn't a choice. It's an obligation. It is something that you must do, no matter what. When you're chasing greatness, when you're hungry for success, there's no room for complacency. There's no room for slacking off. There's no room for taking the easy path.
At the end of your feelings, there's nothing but a heap of excuses and missed opportunities. But at the end of a day, with a disciplined mindset, there's a promise of success, of achievement, of reaching those goals you've set for yourself. It's the disciplined who works when they just don't want to get up anymore. They continue to grind when all their competition is heading home for the day. They fight harder and harder and harder every day without taking days off. Every day you let your feelings dictate your actions. You're pushing your dreams further and further away. That one day you hit the snooze button or skip the gym could be the day that sets you back weeks, months, or even years.
It's the guy who hustles the most who will catch all those breakthroughs. In the late hours and early mornings, when 99.99% of people are in bed or hanging out, wasting their time. You gotta make sure you are one of those very few people who are putting in those extra hours, getting further and further ahead of everybody else.
So what do you do when you're tired, worn out, or just plain sick of the grind? You go anyways. You get it done no matter what. Even if you're just going through the motions, you go through the fucking motions. You push through. Because to you, you understand that getting things done is non-negotiable. You don't have an option. It doesn't matter how tired you are. It doesn't matter if you're feeling okay today. None of that matters. The only thing that matters is getting up and getting after it.
Everybody has great plans. Everybody has these giant ambitions for what they want to do. But the reason most people will never bring them into fruition is because they lack the mental toughness and discipline to get this up and grind on that project, on that mission, on that test, every single day, consistently, without straying from the plan.
So you gotta make a full commitment that I am going to do this thing non-stop for as long as it takes, for as many days as it takes, until it is done.
If your competition works 10 hours, you work 11. If they make 15 sales, you make 16. If they score 90, you score 100. No matter what they do, you work relentlessly to one-up them every damn time. You don't really want to work out? Tough shit, you work out. You don't want to hammer away at that project? Too bad, you hammer away. Don't want to get up out of bed? You get up and get your ass out of bed. Don't let that small voice of immediate gratification whisper in your ear. Shut that shit down. Go through the motions, lift the weights, sprint the hills, work on the project, and move yourself forward closer to victory.
You're gonna miss parties. You're gonna have people question you. You're gonna lose some friends. You're gonna have to give up some of the things you enjoy for a while. You may be the only person that understands what you're doing. But if you want to change your life, if you want to be the man or woman that you aspire to be, that is a part of the game. You can't do all the same things, have all the same habits, hang around the same people, and expect a different result. Wanting to change is not enough. If you're not willing to fundamentally change your priorities, change your environment, change your actions, you're not going to win. You got to be willing to give some things up in order to go up.
You don't get paid for effort. You don't get paid for trying. You get paid for executing. You get paid for finishing. And that's what separates the champions from the rest. You set your standard, raise it, and uphold it every day. You're going up against other champions, and you think giving 50, 60, 70% is going to cut it? Absolutely not. If you want to be the best, if you want to be the apex, you got to give it 100% at all times. Even when your legs are trembling and you're dead tired, the real beasts find a way, no matter what it takes.
The more you make those short-term decisions based on instant gratification, the further you're gonna stray from your path to greatness. Don't fall into that trap. Think strategically, think long-term. You need tactical victories. You need to win battles to win the war. Getting up and running when you'd rather be sitting on the couch. Working on your craft when you'd rather be out with your friends. Eating clean when you'd rather be eating all that sugary crap. You gotta do these things.
Don't question it. Don't hesitate. Just do it. When you do these things, even when they're not fun, even when your feelings are telling you just this one time, you gotta remind yourself that you are investing in yourself today for a better tomorrow. Every time you make that decision to take the heart away, you're getting stronger.
1 + 1 will always equal 2. 2 + 2 will equal 4. And 10 years of relentless work, putting in more hours than anyone else is willing to, while all these other people are partying on weekends and making excuses, will set you ahead.
Resources, time, money, network we don't have. When you look at the most powerful and effective people in history, we're never the problem. They didn't have the resources, but they got them. How do people get resources when they don't have them? The answer is they're resourceful. The ultimate resource is resourcefulness. That's what makes someone successful. And here's what's great about resourcefulness. Who has it within them? Who? Every human being, but the question is whether you access it or not. If you're creative enough, can you find an answer to the problem? Yes or no? If you're determined enough, can you find the money that you don't have? Can you find it? Yes or no? If you care enough and get other people to care with you, can you get them to help you? Yes or no? If you are bold enough, if you're strong enough, if you're disciplined enough, can you get yourself to do things other people cannot find a way to do? Yes or no? See, the ultimate resource is resourcefulness. But the minute you forget that, you come up with a story that goes, I don't have the money, I don't have the time, I can't do it, it's too far away. That's what's going to kill you.
Most people don't ever make it where they want to go because they give themselves mental outs. And a lot of people who have resources, they have other choices. They can say, oh, this is hard, so they quit. They can say, oh, this business doesn't make enough money, so they quit. When you don't have any other option but to succeed, your chances of success are pretty good. You have to try and put yourself in positions where your back is against the wall, guys, because when your back is against the wall, that's when you're gonna fight. There's no capability difference between you and someone you consider to be an ultimate role model of success. The only difference is they've learned to manage their state and they've learned to control their mental focus. Whatever we concentrate our focus on consistently and strive to learn from, we will get great at. I don't care what it is, if you focus on it daily and you strive to be better, you're gonna make little distinctions that'll make you more and more effective every single day.
You should figure out what is it you desire in life and figure out the steps to get there and start working a plan to get there and minimizing everything else. Getting very clear on the mission, and working the plan. Everything else, guess what it gets? A no.
This is the truth of success. Most people can't succeed because they can't deal with all the old pull them off the game plan. You're gonna have to get real comfortable sticking to your own plan and telling them no when they want to go out on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So if you want to win, whether it's this year or next year, whatever, you're going to have to get real comfortable keeping your head on your plan and put the time into making yourself happy.
It's one thing to be hungry, it's another thing when you're starving. Starving for greatness and starving for success.
Put yourself in a position where you can't retreat, where it's do or die, sink or swim. Here's what you'll find out. You'll develop incredible swimming skills. You'll find yourself stroking unlike you've ever seen before.
If you want to be successful, if you want to dominate in the area, you gotta let everything go but that thing you're pursuing. You can't chase two rabbits and catch both of them. But you put your attention on one and go after it. You concentrate on winning. You concentrate on dominating. Listen to me. Meditate on this stuff. Focus on this stuff. And when we focus on that, that's where our energy is going to go. I need you to take ownership of your thoughts. I need you to say with me, this is my mind. These are my thoughts. I control what I think. Not the circumstances, not the situations. I control what I think. I choose where I'm going. And I will use my thinking. I will use my thoughts to make the rest of my life the best of my life.
What are you doing right now? Are you not doing anything? Are you doing something stupid? Or are you making progress? What are you doing right now?
This is the difference between the good and the great. The good, they talk about it, sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't. The great, execute. You gotta execute. You just gotta make one more shot than they make. One more run than they make. You just gotta last one more quarter than they last. You just get one more out than they get. You just one more down than they had. Execution. Execution. You just one more push up than the next man. One more free throw than the next man's willing to take. That's all you gotta do. To be great, all you gotta do is just a little bit more than the next person is willing to do. And if you're willing to execute just a little bit more, your percentage, if you look at Michael Jordan when he played, he made millions. And if you looked at how many points he scored, it was like 29 and the next guy was like 27, 28. What does that mean? Michael Jordan just made one more basket than the average player in the NBA. And that one more basket made him a millionaire. And I'm telling you, you're not where you want to be financially. You're not where you want to be in your personal life. And it's not going to take 20 shots. For some of you, it's one more shot. For some of you, it's two more shots. And you have not given yourself enough credit to say, I just need to get up a half hour earlier and my whole life will change. I just need to work 1 hour longer. I need to stop hitting that snooze button.
Turn your damn TV off. Turn your phone off a lot too. It's such a convenient escape from the work. It's such a convenient escape from our obsessions. Can you get laser obsessively focused almost to its exclusivity for an extended period of time? I'm talking about a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, even a decade towards something you want so badly you want it like oxygen. It's like you want it like you want to eat. You want it like you want to live. Are you extendedly laser focused on it or do you get distracted easily?
If you have diluted focus, you get diluted results.
What happens when you hit a tree 1,000 times in 1,000 different spots? Absolutely nothing. But what happens when you hit the tree in the same spot 1,000 times, day after day after day? It does not matter how big that tree is, you gonna bring it down.
If you want to be successful, if you want to dominate in the area, you got to let everything go but that thing you pursuing. You can't chase 2 rabbits and catch both of them. So you put your attention on one and go after it.
It's not through diversification, it's through concentration. You gotta go all in on the thing.
You say you want to be great. You say you want to get to the next level. You say you want to be dominant. You say you want a promotion. You say you want to start your own business. You can talk it all day. You talk entirely too much about your dream. You talk too much about your goals. You just talk. We don't need all that talking. We need execution. It's not about talking. It's about doing. Shut up. Go to work and show me. Show me what you got. Show me. You're wasting time from the grind. Just shut up and grind and let your grind speak for you. And you gotta get to a point where you are so locked in, you are so centered that you don't hear anything around you. All you hear is the dream saying, let's go, E.T., E.T., let's go. E.T., come on. One more class, E.T., one more embarrassment, E.T., one more hour, E.T., push, E.T., push, E.T., push.
Don't stop. Narrow your focus to one idea and make it work.
Stay focused on the goal.
Stay focused, stay committed, not the shallow commitment, not the commitment that's predicated upon external factors, the commitment that says, can I stay true to what I said I would do long after the mood that I've set it in has left?
Right now, make the decision that any price is worth it for you to make your family proud of you, for you to make your dream happen. Stop negotiating the price. This negotiation you keep doing in your mind. Is this really where I'm supposed to be? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? It steals all your energy. It steals your focus.
Successful people and wealthy people have a subtle distinction. They don't look at price, they look at worth. Is this worth it?
If you're constantly looking at the price tag, you'll eventually relent. You'll eventually give in. Stop negotiating the price. It's a freeing experience to totally commit. When you totally commit to a business, to your fitness, it's a freeing, powerful. Can you do that? The people around you always say, it's costing too much. And you go, maybe it's costing too much. You gotta start going, no, it's worth it. On the other side of that suffering, on the other side of that sacrifice, on the other side of that laser focus is your dream.
All that you're going through in the process is preparing you to make the dream become a reality.
It's a long grind, and it's totally worth it because it's not about where you get, it's about who you become in the process of getting there. The things you'd be most proud of is the fact that you lasted, is the fact that you got up after you quit, is the fact that you go, you know what, I did quit, but I'm getting back. I innovated, I pivoted, I improved, I grew, I fought, I clawed, I competed, I won.
Everyone climbs a mountain, and right when they're like, I can't go anymore, that last inch is going to make all the difference. And they give up. It's because one, they had a bad plan of action, but two, they've lost the motivation. They're not seeing the visual representation of their effort being put out, so therefore they're like, I'm done.
You are going to come up against some moments in your life. I've been there. You're going to come up with some moments in your life. Somebody told you it was over. Somebody told you that just go home and die. Somebody sent you home. Somebody told you you'll never be a doctor. They sent you home, you failed. They sent you home, law school. They sent you home. Some wife, she told you, that's it. I don't want to be married to you. Some husband, he told you, I don't want to be married to you. And he left. Never give up. I need mental toughness. It's no reason to cry. It's a reason to build. It's a reason to get stronger. It's a reason to get more intense. It's a reason to get better. You need one more thing, one more check, one more something to put yourself in a position where you get higher. I don't care if it's fair or not. It's what you got to do. You can get through this because you bigger than this. You better than this. You tougher than this. And when you get to the other side, you're going to be better. You're going to be bigger. You're going to be bolder.
You guys are saying you're doing everything right. You're giving your all. Come on. Your all is a lot more than you know. You got more inside of you to give. Stop selling yourself.
We've come too far to quit now. When you're in the darkest place, when you feel like all is lost, when you think there's no way to turn it around, remember this. Victory is near.
I don't care if you have to inch your way day by day, and it hurts, and
when it's hard and nobody can see what you're really going through. If you don't quit, the pit will become your platform. I'm telling somebody right now, your lowest moment, the place where you were that broken, will be the place of your greatest testimony.
I am not phenomenally skilled, but phenomenally will. I will not give up. I will not surrender. I will not quit. And your problem is you're giving up too easy.
We've come too far. We've been through too much. We've seen too much. We've had too many victories. We have seen defeat. We've looked defeat in the face and we've overcome it. We've come too far to be negative now. We've come too far to start overthinking now.
Once we hit that wall, we don't quit, we don't give up. We push a switch called will, and we start using our willpower. Yes, we tired. Yes, we're hungry. Yes, the mind is saying give up. Yes, it's saying quit. But we cannot quit because we realize we have not reached the goal yet. This is not what I dreamed about. This is not what I said I was going to do. This is not what it looks like.
Mentally, you must be there before you physically even start. It's a mindset. That dream and success, I'm gonna meet, I'm gonna create. All I have to do is sweat for it, work for it, study for it, drive for it, believe in it. Never take no for an answer, and never give up. When the winds of life don't hit your sail, you grab oars of life. Now you start pushing your body, your boat, your vessel into the harbor of a known point that you want to be. Those won't get you there. You gotta get yourself there, guys.
When you leave the crowd, you start to dream, to express your best of world. You will be different, and people don't like it if you're different.
Every hero you guys had was called an idiot, crazy, a loser.
They will try to tear you down, and they will try to mock you.
When you get to that point of frustration, of anger, that is tremendous fuel for you to go out and do that you want to do. Your goal should be to become so successful in whatever it is that you're trying to do that all the people who said that you, those who look at the floor.
One person with a belief overrides thousands of people with just intent.
The people that are hungry are willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have.
The spirit of resiliency, the spirit of grit, it's in your DNA, it's in your blood. Overcoming is in your blood. Getting through adversity is in your blood.
I need effort from you. I need you to match whatever effort the enemy is putting up. Whoever your enemy is, match the doggone effort. This is what you do. You are built for this.
The longest time in the world is the hesitation between thought and action. It can actually be forever. You can hesitate for 1 second to get started on something, a workout, a project, a task, something that you know you should do. You can hesitate for 1 second. That 1 second of hesitation, all of a sudden it turns into 5 seconds, and then 10 seconds, and then 10 minutes. And then just like that, you drifted into the eternity zone. 1 second became an eternity because something that was gonna happen is now never gonna happen, ever. Why is that? Because you hesitated. So don't take that chance. Instead, take action. A body in motion tends to stay in motion. A body at rest tends to stay at rest. You've had enough damn rest.
You gotta get to the point in your life where you decide, I have had it. I'm tired of being a loser.
I got tired of losing. I got tired of coming up short. I got tired.
I want to move to the nicest neighborhood. I want to fly first class. I want to go to Hawaii. I made a decision. Enough is enough. It's showtime. In order for you to go from one level to the next level, in order for any woman to transition, for any man to transition, the thing that they want must be greater than the thing they currently have. Humans do not transition to another level when they're comfortable with the level that they're on. You only go to another level when you say, enough is enough. I want you to live the life you were meant to live. You hear me? Not the life that was given to you. You deserve to see what your life would look like if you gave 120%. And what I need you to do is I need you to look at yourself in the mirror and say, come on, stop playing. I deserve to see what my life would look like if I gave 120%. That's lion mode. And you got to get to a place where you start executing.
Making a freaking plan is the easy part, and you have to understand if you don't execute on the plan, if you don't get up in the morning when you're feeling tired, scared, if you don't execute, you're not just cheating yourself, dude. You're cheating your family, You're cheating your employees, you're cheating your team, whatever you're a part of. It's bigger than you, man.
And guess what? I had to get up even though it was hard, and I had to take ownership of my life, take ownership of my time, take ownership of my day. And if those of you messed up, why? Because you don't understand. Think, act, eat, rest. We're talking about a schedule. I realized that my strength is in my routine. Why? Because I'm not as strong as I thought I was. I'm not as intelligent as I thought I was. It's in my routine. It's what I do every day repeatedly. The DNA of your success is in your routine. You're not as deep as you think you are. You gotta find a routine. I'm getting up at 3 and stick with it. I'm getting up at 5 and stick with it. Yeah, out of 365 days, we'll have a bad day or two, but I'm trying to tell you, the strength is in the routine. Find a routine and stick with it. No more dreaming. Dreaming is over. I need specifics. What are you doing on Monday? What are you doing on Tuesday? What are you doing on Wednesday? You need to be very specific. It's time to put your piecing together of your puzzle. Nobody gave me this. I earned it. Life wasn't a crystal stair for me. Didn't nobody give me a network. I earned the network. I worked my way to the NBA. I worked my way to the NFL. Everybody say, E, how did you crack the code? I grinded my way through the code. That's how I cracked it. I got up every day at 3. I don't care what the economy is doing. I don't care who the president is. Nobody helped me to get here. I had to get up. I had to go to class. I had to read. I had to study. I had to write. I understood that the dream is real, but the lifestyle is realer. It doesn't matter what everybody else is doing. Stay predictable. Stay consistent. And the reason why many of you are not getting it is because you're not consistent. You start and you stop. You get pumped up. You start strong, and then somewhere in the middle you quit. You have a little success, but you don't experience exponential growth because you're not consistent. You gotta be persistent. You gotta be locked in. You can't scoreboard watch. Too many of you scoreboard watching. Every time you do something, you're looking up to see the score. You stopping working to look at yourself. You're not grinding. You glaring. You should be grinding and you looking at the score. The score is what it is. The score ain't about to change because you looked at it. Keep playing the game. Keep grinding. Keep working. And that other stuff will take care of itself. I'm challenging you to get from where you are. I'm challenging you to stop settling. I'm challenging you to stop accepting the life that was given to you. And I'm challenging you to give 120%. If you're going to do what you say you're going to do, be what you say you're going to be, you're going to have to lion me out. You a gazelle, you're going to come up short. You a gazelle, you're not always going to get what you want out of life. You a gazelle, you're going to have an average experience. You a student, I need you in lion mode. You a teacher, I need you in lion mode. You an entrepreneur, I need you in lion mode. You trying to lose weight, lion mode. You can't do nothing significant in gazelle mode. Nothing. Nothing impressive happens in gazelle mode. Nothing happens in run mode, give up mode, quit mode, scared mode, fearful mode. Nothing happens. Everything happens in lion mode like I'm coming to get you. You concentrate on this opportunity. You don't worry about tomorrow. You concentrate on this opportunity with all your might, with all your soul, with all your heart. You focus on this, and tomorrow will take care of itself.
All the real achievers in this world, they just get going. They start anywhere, at any time, in any place. They start regardless of their pain or whether they're pumped up. Their location doesn't matter. They just begin. And you gotta just take the leap. Just dive into the work.
Just get up and move. And watch procrastination crumble. If you can't take control of your own brain and it controls you, you've got control over your mind. You've just got to enforce it. You got to tell your brain where you want to go and what you want to do. You don't give it an option to slack off.
So the next time you're feeling weak or lazy or just not in the mood, remind those feelings they don't get a say in what you do today. You're going to remain disciplined, committed, and getting done.
When that alarm goes off at 4 or 5 in the morning and your mind complains, you tell it, this is our new normal. You've got to command your brain and tell it where you want to head, why you're doing this, and the way you're going to make it happen. You don't get better by sitting on the damn couch. You get better by stepping out into the world and giving it everything you've got every day.
And everybody will talk about it. Everybody will post about it. Everybody will plan it. But barely anybody is willing to roll up their sleeves and just go get it. Because most people in the world are lazy. They don't want to do things that don't come easy.
This daily grind, it's not for the faint-hearted, it's for the tough, the relentless, the ones who look at the impossible and say, "Dad, I can do it." It's about pushing past your limits, breaking new ground, and doing the hard that everyone else is too scared or too lazy to tackle.
You gotta learn to sacrifice, to give up, to go up. It doesn't matter how talented or skilled you are. Without discipline, you're nothing. Why? Because without it, you'll give up at the slightest hint of struggle.
You have to force yourself to do the very best you can, every time. There are no excuses, no backing down. You must keep moving, keep striving, keep pushing the envelope of what you thought was possible. This is the path if you want to get to the next level.
Discipline is about doing what you hate, but doing it like you love it. It's your mindset that gets you through the hard times. So you gotta get your up. Whether you're tired, exhausted, or just don't feel like working, then you gotta grind.
It's all on you. You're in control of your mind, not the other way around. You have to assert your will over your feelings, because those feelings will never align with your dreams. Beat your feelings into submission, because when you can beat your feelings into submission, that's exactly what discipline is.
When you decide to go after success, you gotta understand, it's not just about enjoying the easy days when the sun's shining and all is going good. No. You gotta be willing to deal with the dark, grimy, nasty days when you don't want to do anything. When you can get to the point where you are able to execute on your mission during these days, you will make it happen.
You're signing up for the grind, the late nights, the early mornings. You're committing to that separates the winners from the whiners. So, lace up your boots, tighten your grip, and charge into the battlefield of life like a relentless warrior. Because let me tell you, success doesn't get about your excuses or half efforts. It rewards those who say, "I will conquer this no matter what."
You can't just dip your toes in. You have to dive in head first and let your dream consume you like a wildfire. You've got to eat it, breathe it, and sleep with that dream on your mind. While your competitors are sleeping, partying, making excuses, you are working, grinding, making progress, making moves, and making happen. It's not enough to just want it. You've got to be all in, pushing through all the hard to reach the other side where the best things in life are waiting for you.
Nobody wakes up fired up every single day. What makes you successful is your ability to execute, whether you're burning with passion or not. That's what discipline is. Doing that you don't want to do because you know it has to be done.
It's about breaking away from the usual, shocking your system. Try getting yourself up at 4 in the morning one day. Just see what happens. See what happens if you push yourself to work harder than you ever have. Expand yourself and your limits. You have no idea of what you're capable of doing.
You need the mentality of an unstoppable machine, one that never accepts anything less than success. It's a mentality that tells the world, you gotta take my life before you can ever take my drive. It's about enduring any level of pain, suffering, discomfort for as long as it takes.
You wanna make your dreams a reality? You wanna rise above the sea of mediocrity that drowns most people's ambitions? Well, you better be ready to put in the kind of work that makes sweat pour, muscles ache, and your mind scream for mercy.
You gotta stop having everything. You gotta work like and pour everything you got into that thing. And no one's coming to save you. No one's gonna do all this hard for you. You gotta do it all yourself. You gotta prove to yourself and the world what you're able to do, because people are gonna underestimate you all the time. So you show them exactly what you can do. You won't have to say one word. Your actions will speak for themselves.
Most of the time, we don't have someone there to keep us in line, to make us do push-ups and give us a good, swift kick in the when we slack off. What we have to do is we have to be our own sergeant, to hold the highest standards and allow no slack.
Your problem is you start something, you stop it. You start something, you stop it. You feel good, you do it. You don't feel good, you quit. People who do stuff consistently and on time, they surpass people who talented and gifted.
When you are a true hunter, you don't go by time, you go by the gazelle. You don't hunt from 8 to 3. Why? Because the gazelle may not be open from 8 to 3. You hunt until you get a gazelle, and you don't stop until you get one. And then you get another, and then you get another, and you get another. Listen to me, a 9 to 5 person, they make a sale and they're excited. When you get to my level and you get one thing, then you try to get to the next level, then you try to get to the next level, then you try to get to the next level. A true hunter hunts. A true hunter's goal is not the prize. A true hunter's goal is to hunt. That's what they live for. They live to hunt. They don't just live to catch it. It's the whole process.
Every decision you make, the decisions you make on Monday, the decisions you make on Tuesday, the decisions you make on Wednesday. If you decide to hit the snooze button, you 10 minutes away from your goal now. So whatever your goals are, your decisions have to be in alignment with them. Now, if you want to be broke for the rest of your life, keep doing what you're doing. But if you want something different in life, you got to do something different. You got to go all in.
And mental toughness says, not only do I climb that doggone mountain, I enjoy climbing the mountain. I get a kick out the mountain. I get a kick out the weights. I get a kick out of fatigue. I get a kick out of the grind. I get a kick out of it.
It's one thing to talk about your destiny, but it's another thing to wake up when you know you're supposed to wake up, to say no to that party, saying no to quitting when you still got 100 more shots to make, saying no when your body said stop, but you put in 50 more push-ups. You can't just talk about it, you gotta be about it.
Yup, it's tough, it's hard. I'm not telling you it's gonna be easy to sacrifice. I'm not telling you it's gonna be easy to grind. I'm not telling you it's going to be easy, but I can tell you this, it will be worth the sacrifice if you can grind your way through it.
You don't feel like it today. I know you had a long night, you're a little tired, you don't feel like it. I get it. But if you don't feel like getting after it, I hope you feel like being weak. I hope you feel like not accomplishing anything, because that's what's gonna happen. If nothing changes, nothing changes. And yet, somehow we expect things to change. You think you're gonna get in better shape. You think you're gonna get more money. You think your relationship is going to improve. You think you're going to get promoted. You think you're going to get a raise. You think the world is going to get better without you doing anything. But it isn't. Nothing is going to change unless you change what you're doing. Change the junk food that you're eating. Change the time that you wake up. Change what you do when you get out of bed. Change what you do with your time. That's what you need to do. You have to change some things or nothing will change. So make changes and start little. Get up a little bit earlier, get a workout done. It doesn't have to be epic. You don't have to do a 3-hour leg day, but get up and get something done. And how about you plan what you're gonna do in the day? How about you change what time you get to work by showing up 10 minutes earlier? And you square your gear away, or you dial in your tools, or your desk, or your workspace. That's what you need to do.
You want to know how to get better? You want to know how to take back control of your life? Stop looking for a sweatless solution. Stop looking for the easy path. Stop looking for someone or something to turn it all around for you. And start looking for your will. Start looking for your discipline.
When you start hearing that weakness creep into your brain, telling you to back down, in that very moment, you've got to decide that you're gonna be the commander of your brain. You've got to shut that weak voice down. It does not get a vote in what you're doing today. Your laziness, your sore legs, your sleepiness, your feelings, none of those get a vote. You're asserting dominance over your mind. You are getting done whether you feel like it or not.
If you tell yourself the truth, and the truth is, I'm not happy with where I'm at. That's the truth. The truth is, I can do more. The truth is, I can be in better shape. The truth is, I can work harder than I'm working right now. The truth is, I can do more for my family. The truth is, I can do much better than I'm doing right now. If that's the real truth, if that's what you believe, if you believe that to be the truth, you won't have to find more discipline. Discipline will find you.
don't hang with people who can only get up when they got something to motivate them. That's not somebody I want to hang out with. I want to hang with somebody, I don't care what the circumstances, I don't care what the situation. You put it on your back and you like, let's go. Are you hearing me? You gotta have that dog. You gotta be intentional and deliberate. And everybody that's running with you gotta be intentional and deliberate.
Discipline is doing what you said you were gonna do when you don't feel like doing it when you felt like doing it in the first place. That's all it is.
But most people will not be successful because when there's not anything emotionally attached to it, they're gonna quit and give up. Most people were closer than they ever thought they were to finishing that big thing, but they never finished it because they didn't feel like finishing it, or they were doing it and it was pain. And most people quit in the pain because the pain hurts so bad that they don't know if they want to keep doing it to get to go. Like you're gonna wake up most days and not be pumped up. You're gonna wake up most days and not feel like doing it. But when you can get to a point that you do it anyway, then there's no way you won't reach any of your goals. And you're gonna have to fight and fight and fight and fight. And most of you won't be successful not because you can't do it, but you can't outlast your old you long enough to get to your new you.
There's no one say, I want to procrastinate. I don't want to get it done. I don't want to get to the next level. No, every person wants to make their dreams become a reality.
But the reason why most people will never get it, never achieve it, and never succeed is because you gotta give up stuff in order to go up. You gotta make sacrifices. You gotta discipline yourself consistently. You gotta program yourself to suffer on a daily basis in order to reform those lazy habits into ones that build success.
I need you to do that sucks every day of your life. That's how you get better. That's how you get stronger. You embrace the resistance you feel when you're stretching yourself to go beyond what's comfortable. And if you're not pushing yourself, you're shrinking. You are fading away.
And the reason why we fast from time to time is not that we have to fast, but at some point you gotta fast because you gotta tell the flesh who's in control. I'm in control. You're not in control. I know you don't want to wake up. You don't have an option. Get up. We trying to eat. There's a certain lifestyle we want.
Everybody wants it, everybody dreams of it, but very few are willing to work for it. So you gotta make a declaration that you are gonna be one of those few people who will make it happen. Talk is cheap, so you shut your mouth and grind. Your actions will speak for themselves.
You make those little changes, those little habits that you have to change them, those bad habits. And you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. The little things, the little changes, they add up and they become big things. Change the little things, and over time, you can change your life. But if you don't change what you're doing and how you do it, nothing else will change. Reset your brain, reset your habits, reset your life.
You know the war that you have to really fight is the war against yourself.
It's you against you. You against you. There's no hack, bro. There's no hack to grow that thing. How do you grow it? Do it, and do it, and do it, and do it. That's the hack. The hack is gonna suck. You gotta build your will.
No, it's not easy to look in the mirror and to change your own life. It's hard as you have to take responsibility. You have to learn new things. You have to feel uncomfortable. Because discomfort is how we grow. That's how we become strong. You have two paths in front of you right now. One path is the easy path. You don't have to change anything. Everything in your life that you aren't happy about can be someone else's fault. But the end of that road isn't pretty. The other path is the hard path. It's going to be downright painful. You will have to force your brain to think in new ways. But eventually, you will start to feel empowered. You will realize that you have the greatest power of all, the power to change your own life. You will be stronger than you've ever known.
When you give up, your mind thinks it's over, so it stops growing. There's no development when you give up. But when you can say, screw this is awful. I'm overwhelmed, I'm in pain, I'm struggling, I'm hurting, but decide not to leave, your mind gets the message. It realizes he's sticking around, so we need to adapt, we need to improve. That's when different parts of your brain kick into gear. You start using parts of your mind you never used before, especially when you're struggling and you refuse to quit.
I am sick and tired turning a shitty spot in this world and then blaming every single person around them. I'm sick of watching people stuff their faces and do nothing and expect to have this great life. I'm sick of people showing up and doing the minimum and expect to be wealthy and successful and all the things
that they say they want. It just doesn't work that way. When's it gonna be? When is it gonna be that you are finally not full of make the change that you need to make? Become the person you need to become. This isn't about losing 20 pounds or 30 pounds or 100 pounds. This is about becoming a person that can control their external environment and make decisions that serve them no matter how hard those decisions might be, no matter how inconvenient those decisions might be. That's the only way you're going to solve this problem long term. Your only solution is to become the kind of person who can do the hard things when everybody else stops, when everybody else takes a break, when everybody else quits. This is going to be a full commitment to creating the kind of person that can make the right decision even when it's the last thing they want to do. When they're tired, when they're sore, when they're hungry, they will still make the right decision. When they're stressed, when they're frustrated, when they're angry, they will still make the right decision. When the world is crashing down on their shoulders, they will still make the right decision.
Every day, you should look at yourself and ask, what am I prepared to do to achieve what I want? And if your response is whatever it takes, then you'll eventually get there.
You're setting an example every single day. You have to consistently challenge and work that damn mind of yours. It's a mental machine that needs constant pushing. The cost of regret is far heavier than the cost of discipline. You don't want to wake up one day and regret not following your instincts, not doing what you wanted.
Don't live with regrets. If there's something you want to do in your job, in your relationships, in school, just do it. Life is all about mastering this mental game. Once you conquer this mental game, it stops being a game. You start actually living your life.
Every day you have the choice to either succumb to the seductive whispers of ease or to rise above and challenge yourself. You gotta recognize that the path to greatness, to real growth and achievement, lies in doing the hard things. The things that require effort, dedication, and a relentless pursuit of your goals.
It's about realizing that every difficult step you take is a step towards becoming a stronger, more capable version of yourself.
When you're committed, you start training your mind to seek growth over comfort, embracing the struggle rather than avoiding it. This mental shift is what separates the extraordinary from the ordinary.
The most successful individuals are those who can act independently of their feelings. They don't negotiate with their emotions. They separate themselves from these fleeting states and focus on their goals. By taking control of your emotions, you become a disciplined, goal-achieving machine, capable of accomplishing anything you set your mind to.
This isn't just about today, it's about setting the stage for your future. Every decision, every action is a building block for the future you are creating. It's not solely about the goals you achieve, but the person you become in the process. As you build your future, your vision becomes clearer, and each victory sharpens your focus, transforming your goals from distant dreams into achievable realities.
Discipline is the weapon against mediocrity. And every time you choose to rise early, opt for healthier options, or hit the gym despite fatigue, you strike a blow against weakness, thereby strengthening your mind and character.
You need to cultivate the voice of a champion within you. This is the voice that compels you to get up even when you're tired, even when everything in you wants to stop.
Become the person who cannot quit. Become the person who can say no to the things that they know they're supposed to say no to. Become the person who makes the right decision regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the hardships, regardless of the pain, regardless of the frustration. If you become that person, you have no limits in your life. There is no stopping that person. Start today. And in 365 days, you will look back and you will say, that was the day. That was the day that everything changed. That was the day that my life changed. That was the day that my family changed. That was the day my community changed because I changed.
I dare you to work on yourself for 6 months. I dare you to shut out the world. I dare you to shut out all the distractions.
I dare you to give up everything that is keeping you from your dream.
Every day when I wake up, I got all kind of demands. You got all kind of demands. And the reason why you're not where you want to be, you taking all other people's stuff before you spend enough time with yourself to get to know you and get to know what you want and what you should do.
Come on, y'all heard it a million times. In case of an emergency, put the doggone mask on yourself first. And the problem with most of you in this room, you giving it to everybody else first. And then you pissed when you give it to everybody else first and you come up short and you wonder why you came up short because you gave it to everybody else first. Take care of you.
In order to have unbelievable choice and options in your life, in your pursuit of your dream, you must eliminate them. You must shrink your focus down to one thing, one business, one focus at one time, and master it and get great at it for an extended period of time. The irony of life is that the more you shrink your options in pursuit of your dream, the more it'll open them up in your life later. What are the things that are stealing your focus? Who are the people that are stealing your focus? And begin to eliminate these distractions. Get laser focused and obsessed on what you want. Be starving and hungry to get it. Be desperate to get it. The combination of desperation and hunger with laser focus over an extended period of time is the formula to be great at something.
If you want to show me you want to win that bad, pack your calendar, because everything is based off of activity. Very few people want to show their calendar, because if they did, you would realize who really wants to win bad and who doesn't. It's mathematically impossible for you not to win at the highest level if your calendar is packed from day till night, every single day, the entire year, without you winning.
Embed that long-term goal in your mind. Burn it into your soul. Think about it, write about it, talk about it, hang it up on your wall, but most important, do something about it. Every day, do something that moves you toward that goal, that keeps that goal alive and in sight and in focus. However small or insignificant that step might seem, take it, make it happen, because that goal isn't going to achieve itself. It is all on you.
Champions are focused on the goal. They don't have time to be doing stuff that's not going to help them toward the goal. So all the little stuff you talking about, all the little social media, cut it off. Cut it off. Do what you're supposed to do. You ain't no boy no more. Get off social media. It's killing you. Get off of it. Stop Netflix. Who you watching? Watch you. You got a job to do. That's what you're getting paid for. Have some pride. And the problem with some of y'all is you want somebody else to support your dream. It's yours. I don't owe you a dime. It's your dream. If you wanted to have it, get up and make it happen. If you wanted to have it, rise and grind.
Our obsessions become our possessions, but we won't possess them if we're not truly obsessed. Turn your damn TV off. Turn your phone off a lot too. Don't be so obsessed with them. Be obsessed with your own reality TV program called your own life. This suffering, this sacrifice you're making is an indicator of progress. It's an indicator of obsession. Suffering and sacrifice and hard work is an indication of progress towards our dreams. The price you will pay for not making your dream come true is far greater than the one that you will pay to make it come true. You'll pay that one the rest of your life. And so ask yourself what you're willing to risk. What's the price you're willing to pay? Stop negotiating the price. It's a freeing experience to totally commit. When you totally commit to a business, to your fitness, it's a freeing, powerful, it's almost like removing kryptonite from your life when you totally commit. Can you do that? The people around you always say, it's costing too much. It's costing too much. You guys are going, no, it's worth it.
There is no testimony without a trial. It is supposed to be hard. That rough process is necessary. It's what makes you who you are.
You've got to be flexible, you've got to be versatile, and you've got to be adaptable. You've got to deal with circumstances such as you find them. Why? Because a lot of stuff is going to be thrown at you. Many times you're not going to have time to prepare. Sometimes people come out of nowhere with stuff, and you've got to stand up inside of yourself and handle it. You got to trust that you're going to be all right. You have no evidence to support it. It doesn't make sense. You can't point anything to say, well, this is why. There's no logic in it. There's no way in which you can logically and practically and realistically support it and prove it. That's why you got to have faith and you got to have trust. Somehow, some way, you got to have that you're going to come through. What is it that will make it worth it for you to face the rejections when you want to give up and things are working against you? What is it that will make it worth it for you to brainstorm and not be intimidated and say, I can do this? What is it that will make it worth it for you to raise the bar on yourself and say, I got some more stuff in me? What is it that will help you get back up again?
You better go inside. You still looking outside for the stuff that's already inside. You still looking for someone to save you when you already your superhero. You looking for some information from somebody when you already got what you need in your head. It's just time for you to get up and be the best version of you. When you get your butt knocked out, the only way you can get back up is from the inside out. I got what it takes. I got average skill, but I got phenomenal will. I can. I have the ability to do it. I will. I have the willpower to make it happen. I must. Somebody count on me. Arise. Get your butt up. You don't belong at the bottom, and it's time for you to get your butt from down there. It's time for you to stop being comfortable at the bottom. Get your butt up and get to where you're supposed to be. This ain't time to be whining. This ain't time to be crying. This is time to get focused.
Once you start questioning yourself, you already lost. Once you start questioning yourself, once you start going into a state of depression and you start being by yourself and you start thinking and wondering, once you start wondering, you already lost. Even if you don't believe.
You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in your product. You have to believe in your service. And you have to sell you every day. The biggest sale that I make every day that Les Brown, you can do this. I can beat this. If other people can do it, then it's possible that I can do it. You're going to break records. You're going to do some things when you challenge yourself, when you work on yourself, because you don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are. If you want to improve your income, you want to improve your circumstances, you want to improve your life, you got to first improve yourself.
Spend more time on yourself than what you've been spending. Working on yourself, talking to yourself, overcoming the negative conversation, that inner dialogue that's going on all the time. It's very important. You owe that to yourself. And so learning how to empower yourself, you've got to learn to make a conscious, deliberate, determined effort to stand up inside yourself. Working on yourself, watching that inner dialogue, it will determine the quality of your life. Because you are creating your own production. You are the star of your show. You are the director. You're writing the script. And you will determine whether your life is a smash office hit or flop. You begin to realize that your dream and your gifts have so much meaning and so much value for you till your hunger for them will begin to push you past the fear. Your hunger to have them will give you a special drive. You want to become a risk taker. You want to raise the bar on yourself. Most people won't do that.
Most people are gonna think you're weird. They're gonna think you're crazy.
People are gonna think you're crazy.
Get away from people in your life that's hating. Get away from your family members that ain't ever opened a business. Get away from your family members that ain't ever followed their dream. Get away from them.
Don't expect people to understand you. Don't expect it to make sense to anybody why you've got to do this. There's some people that won't like you. Who do you think you are? You are arrogant. What do you think you can do? You think you can get away with that?
I'm fighting with folks who not even fighting, but they got something to say about how we fight. You're not even fighting. You ain't doing nothing. And for those of us who get up and go out, you got something to say about how we do what we do it. Stop talking to us who perform. Stop critiquing us. Stop telling us what to do and how to do it.
Build the kind of life that says I told you so without having to say a word. Every negative comment should trigger you into productive action. Every time somebody says something to you, you should go do whatever it is that is going to make them have to eat their words. Right then, right now.
I've had my haters. I've had people who've come against me, who try to sabotage me. I'm like the lion. I'm not the gazelle. I don't need something external to motivate me. I find something within.
That's what lions do. Lions don't cry. Lions don't give up. Lions don't quit. Lions hunt. That's what we do for a living.
I must be the greatest, not because I'm cocky, but I gotta tell myself I'm the best if I'm gonna be the best. I gotta believe in me before anybody else believe in me.
When you start anything, to learn something new, to create a business, to become more in shape, the first step, the first day, the first minute, you're excited. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. The next day comes and you're like, man, this is a little tougher. And then you take another step and another step, and you end up admitting to yourself, this is pretty damn hard. The enthusiasm from the beginning of the process starts to fade out. You forgot why you started. All you could think about is that next grueling step, that next terrible workout, that next day at work that you just can't stand anymore. And you forget the purpose of why you started. And things become monotonous. They become hard. They become miserable. You become angry. You become frustrated. And guys, that is normal. Anytime you start something new, anytime you set out on a new path, anytime you move out of your comfort zone, you're gonna go through a bell curve of frustration. You're gonna be excited, you're gonna be pumped, you're gonna have the momentum to carry you through the first 2 or 3 or 4 days. Maybe it's a week, maybe it's 3 weeks. But what happens when that energy fades? What happens when you start to get frustrated? What happens when you start to feel like a grind and things get grueling and they get gritty and they get tough and it gets harder to move through the process every single day? What happens then? Most people quit.
Do not accept that. Do not allow the process to break you. You embed that long-term goal into your brain, and every single day of your life, from here on out, you do something about it. However small or insignificant each step may seem, you take it. You make it happen.
The way in which you make massive progress is learning the art of becoming single-minded, learning how to concentrate, learning how to focus in. And you'll be surprised at the things that you're able to do when you learn how to block things out, when you learn how to keep thine eyes single.
Clarity is power. If you know exactly what it is you really want, what you desire, what you're really after, the more clear you are on specifically what you want, the faster your brain can get you there. Your brain's like a servo mechanism and a missile. It locks on the heat signature, what does it do? It moves and follows it. That's the way your brain is if it knows the outcome, if it knows the result. I need to know the result and the after before I ever ask myself what to do. Get focused on the target. The target is not the activity. The activity can change. It's what's the result I'm after. If you just keep looking at those outcomes every day, how am I doing on that outcome? Your brain will come up with ways to get to that outcome. I promise you. Focus on outcomes, not on activities.
You'll be surprised at the ideas that will come to you, of the opportunities that you'll be able to see. You'll begin to see things that have been staring there, looking you in the face, saying, I can't believe this has been here all this time.
If you're creative enough, can you find the answer? Yes or no? If you're determined enough, can you find the breakthrough? Yes or no? If you're passionate, loving enough, can you get someone to help you? Yes or no? If there's no way that you're committed, can you find the money even if you don't have it? Yes or no? Creativity, decisiveness, passion, these are the ultimate human resources. And when you engage these resources, you can get any other resource on earth. And if you don't have what you want, stop telling yourself the story because you don't have the money, you don't have the time. It's because you haven't committed yourself where you would burn your boats. If you want to take an island, burning boats, and you will take the island because people, when they're going to either die or succeed, tend to succeed.
And you've got to be so relentless, regardless of what comes down the pike, that you're always looking for a way to get over, always looking for a way that you can break through, always looking for a way that you can win, always looking for a way that you can strike a telling blow.
Wherever focus goes, energy flows.
If you focus on the obstacles, all you will see is obstacles. I can't get a part. I can't do this. Versus, I'm going to keep doing this. It's such a huge thing to convert things into the affirmative.
See, a lot of us, because of our limited vision of ourselves, a lot of us who begin to focus on problems and enable them to overwhelm us, we begin to think that we have no options. We begin to believe that there's no way out. There's always a way. Where there's a will, There's a way.
But many of you all over the place, and that's why you'll never be what you want to be. That's why you'll never have what you want to have. And I'm asking that the 24 hours in your life be very intentional, very deliberate, that you be very strategic. You're very deliberate about what time you wake up. You're very deliberate about what time you go to bed. You're very deliberate about what you eat. You're very deliberate about the people you bring in your life. You are very deliberate about the books that you read. You're very deliberate about what you watch on television. You are very, very focused, intentional, and deliberate. You go in the future and you see your future, baby. You look at it. You see where you want to be in 20 years, in 30 years, in 40 years. And then you come back to the present, to this particular day, to this particular spot. Get in the spot and you master today, and you don't worry about tomorrow, and you ain't tripping on your past. Why? Because your past don't count no more, and your future is so far ahead that you don't even need to be worried about that. You master the present. You master Monday, and then you take on Tuesday. And once you lick Tuesday, then you say Wednesday, come on. And then you take Thursday, and then you master Friday, and then you tell the weekend, bring it on. And when you get to the point where you start winning the day, then you start winning a week, and then you start winning a month, and then you start winning a year. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Go fast, go hard, and win the day. And if you can do that, you'll have, you'll be, and you'll do whatever you want to do.